taking the risk to start that business, taking the risk to leave your high-paying job to go travel the world is the opportunity to look foolish. And I think when we realize there's nothing to actually lose, there's no like figure to act, there's nothing there that will actually be lost, we can just give so much more purely, and we can give from such a more authentic place into the expression of what we want to do. And it makes our life so much more.
If you have any advice on kind of how to maintain a frame, I guess, in the relationship component and how to dance with the other side.
You know, the frame when it comes to relationships, I think is ultimately, so many men are really sweet and caring. And I don't think enough women know how deeply sensitive and caring most men are, and how much most men just want to have a girl that they can devote everything to and give all their love to. And I think that's the experience for most men until they get a little bit of heartbreak in their life.
I can confirm.
You can you've experienced that. I have too. And so I think ultimately, you know, what women really love from men is they love a man who continues in his movie. Mm-hmm. And what happens in a lot of relationships is we come together and we make it about her. We love her. Why wouldn't we make it about her? Why wouldn't we make, baby, where do you want to go for dinner? Baby, what do you want to do? Baby, let's do this. Or in the dating stage, it's like, be ready at Thursday at 7 p.m. We're going to dinner here. She doesn't know. It's this fun, playful thing. She's getting to ride on your roller coaster with you, to be a part of your movie. And I think where most guys go wrong is they change the frame from, hey, we're going here, come with me, to, baby, where should we go? What do you want? What do you want to do? And that frame is a frame that inherently creates less attraction for men and women, is that when it all becomes about her, which is actually most guys' default, is they make the relationship about her because they love her so much. But the reason why she started dating him in the first place is because he was him. He had his path. He knew where he was going. She could join for it. Yeah, sometimes he goes on her path too, and they have an adventure. But for the most parts, we're going here.
That's so freaking true. It's so true. I love what you mentioned. Every man is so loving and caring, and they want to devote, but it's funny because you think that's the right thing to do, but it's not. It's not the right thing to do ever. Like you still be loving and caring, but don't. And kind of how I've thought of it in my head is that Hollywood always tells you that you should be this guy who does those things that is like always throwing a rock at her window or something and just being way too overbearing with love, and then that is what gets the girl. But it is never the case. It's the badass motherfucker who is certain with himself and says, hey, are you comfortable with riding on a motorcycle? I'll pick you up at 8 on Thursday.
At this time.
Yeah, you ready?
You know what's funny is I'm actually leaning more towards Hollywood, even more these days.
Yeah, tell me.
I've seen an evolution of, I guess, dating in if you call it the game in some ways. And I think when when you're really so confident in yourself, the more you can really lean into just fully loving her and going for her, but not being affected by her pushback. And I think this is where most guys go wrong, because they're protecting a fragile ego. And they pursue and they try and she says no a few times, and then he goes, screw her. I don't want her anyway. She's not serious. She doesn't really want to date, all these things. But I think what most women deeply want is they want a guy who recklessly pursues them, who is a great guy. It's not like some creepy dude, who recklessly pursues them, who has his stuff together, but knows I really want her. And I'm willing to go through what she sends at me test-wise, rejection-wise, with the certainty and the confidence to keep pursuing. And ultimately, especially if you're really wanting to go for women who are more in desire, more in a higher value place where more people are approaching them, how else does a guy stand out? There's always a good, some of the girls you meet here, right? The beautiful models here who are also great women, and they have so many men pursuing them, and it's like, who's going to stand out in the crowd? The coolest guy? Maybe. The guy that she actually feels really desires her and keeps showing up consistently in that desire, I think he's going to win. And so my evolution of my own desire for women is much more, how do I find someone who elicits that energy in me where I want to throw the rocks at the window. I want to bring the bouquet of flowers. I want to do all those things because I'm so certain in my desire for her. And I think that's a great way to play it, but you have to really be certain in that desire for her and willing to take rejection.
We're both on this experiment because you're coaching me through it right now.
Yeah. Yes. It's so powerful. I think most women, at the core of it, most women want to be claimed.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like that word, but most women want a guy who's so all about them. But he's a great guy and he doesn't need them, but he wants them. He wants them. And that's a different energy. I don't need you. You can reject me, but I want you. I see something in you that I really desire. And I think there's so much power in that as a man. And so, it's funny to talk about frame. And I think that's the ultimate frame is like, I want you. And she's like, I don't know. It's like, okay, that's fine. I still want you. And for her, it's like, who is this guy? And so many happy couples I talked to, they came from that energy. The guy came from just this knowing and her just like kind of pushing him away. And so it's an experiment. I'm trying it. I've tried it before. It's worked well so far. But it's not something you use every day because it really takes a real true desire for someone to elicit it.
Yeah. It's really, I'm able to resonate with it because I'm in that right now. And it's such a knowing that you have within yourself is like, if I could spend time, I would do it with this person. If I could, if I had all the options right now, I would want to do it with that person. And I really like it. I could see how some people would take it wrong based off of how society is in the West in terms of like, oh, we want both parties to agree to a relationship. Well, yes, obviously, but in the masculine and feminine dynamic, there is much more of a pursuit that just makes the whole dance much more fun. And so I just really enjoy that it's like, hey, if you're certain about this person, if you really, 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 really love them, and if you want to spend time with them, that's your truth. Hang on to it.
Yes.
Go for it.
That's the key part. That's your truth. Staying true to that. Man, my deepest relationship I ever had was with a Brazilian, and I didn't understand this concept at the time. I really came with the Western concept of like, hey, I show interest, I invite you on a date, you show a little bit of interest, and she was just sitting back like, I'm waiting. She was an actress, she was a model, she was very high in demand, and we had so much confusion at the beginning of our relationship because I'm like, I've invited you the last 4 times to hang out. You haven't invited me to hang out. You haven't, you're not, it was all these things, but I was playing in the middle of this weird kind of in the middle of masculine and feminine rather than just owning the role of what is true for me, what is authentic. And my authentic desire was like, I want to see you again. I want to see you again. But I was playing the game. I'm going to hold back. I don't want to seem too needy. And that's what women don't like. They want a man to just show it. Like, I want to hang out with you. Let's go. Like the authentic expression, and the beautiful thing about the authentic expression of what you desire is then you get someone who authentically desires you from your energy. And I think that's what's missed in most dating today is there's so much masks on how I feel and playing hard to get and doing this rather than just showing up with, hey, I see how amazing you are. I want to get to know you. Oh, you're busy on Tuesday night? How about Wednesday? Oh, you're busy on Wednesday? How about Thursday? Oh, you're busy on Thursday? How about Friday? Just like I'm here for this. I actually am here for this. And you might not be, and that's fine. And I'll respect that if you tell me to stop. But until then, I'm going to keep pursuing you if it's authentic to me, not if it's a game, if it's real.
Yeah, I think when that's described exactly like that, I think it is received so well. I think it resonates with men, and I think with women, it would also, like, you want to feel like the prize.
Yes.
You want to feel like this, okay, hey, yeah, of course, like, yeah, for that woman, she is, for the one that you do have that deep desire for, is like, yeah, that is a first place golden ticket woman, yes. And I will gladly make you feel that way.
And we want to feel we earned it as men,
yeah.
And she wants to feel pursued and hunted. She wants to feel like he really came for me. He really wanted me. He didn't, look at every romantic movie. It's the guy being like, I want you. And she's just like, okay, finally.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, finally gives in, right? And so there's a lot of power in that. And I think ultimately everything we're talking about there and what we're talking about more greatly in the podcast is when you can really let go of the ego's need for protection, so much freedom's on the other side of that. Like to communicate with a girl like that is so vulnerable. And you open yourself up to being completely stabbed egoically.
Yeah,
And
who's
this guy who keeps trying, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
It opens you up, but everything, right? Taking the risk to start that business, taking the risk to leave your high-paying job to go travel the world is the opportunity to look foolish. And I think when we realize there's nothing to actually lose, there's no figure to act, there's nothing there that will actually be lost, we can just give so much more purely, and we can give from such a more authentic place into the expression of what we want to do. And it makes our life so much more powerful. It makes our seasons of life so much more powerful. And so I think that's the real juice as a man elevates through his life is I don't need to hold the image. I don't need to hold on to something, she doesn't want to hang out. Okay, I'm done with her, right? There's an identity you're trying to hold on to. Let go of it. If you know who you are, you don't need that. You don't need the 7-figure a year salary to make yourself feel good if you know who you are. And there's something I often say to my clients is if they took everything away from you as a man, how would you show up? Could you still show up powerfully? The job, the body, the girl, the money, and it's just you starting at square one. Could you show up powerfully? And I want to know inherently that's a yes for me in my life. And I think every guy should seek to lean his power and confidence on who he is rather than what he has or the identity he's created.